It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline Bling.
That can only mean one thing.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Yes, it is the Culinary Hotline, one of my favorite days of the week. We've got our experts in studio, Chef Peter Ayub, and of course we've got Angie Boyd in studio this morning, and we're going to be talking about your culinary conundrum. So if you have a question, our number has changed. It's 021 430 9881. Okay, so give us a call if you have any cooking conundrums. Good morning, team. How are we?
So good to be here.
Nice
to
to
see
so
you.
good. I said to Chef Peter, do you have your ting, ting, ting? Because we're going to end off the segment with that, hey? Because I know every week you're like, oh.
Yeah, my rhythm is so bad.
It's all good, it's all good. Okay, so let's head over to our first viewer question. Saying, this is from Anonymous, I would like to know how to get my custard thick.
Right.
I would also like to know that.
Yeah, good question. You've actually got two types of custard. So we've got a thin custard, pouring custard, which is meant to be thin.
Yeah.
And then we've got the thickened custard, which I think is what everyone likes and sort of knows about.
Course, yeah.
So the way to do it is to take our egg yolks. So this is obviously a from-scratch custard. No, none of that
none of the box stuff.
No powder.
And then you add your caster sugar.
All right.
In the meantime, I've got some milk heating on the stove.
Yeah.
And then you're going to thicken it with flour. So it's really that simple. You're going to make a paste by adding flour, and it's about a 10% ratio. So if you've got 250 mils of milk, you're going to use 25 mils of flour.
Yeah.
You can use corn flour as well, but don't use both. Use one or the other.
Right.
So either flour or corn flour, and then you're just going to take a little bit of your hot milk, add it into this. Whoopsie, it's got a bit of a skin. And then back onto the heat.
Okay.
And stir until thickened.
Because you don't want to end up
Yeah,
with
it's got to
scrambled
sort of
eggs.
actually boil a little bit, and once the bubbles start forming, then your custard will have started to thicken.
And I think the most important thing as well there, Ange, is putting a little bit of the warm milk so
Very
that you don't cook those eggs.
Of course.
So just a little bit first, and you temper it, and then you add the rest.
And then what you end up with is that, which,
Oh,
as it cools,
beautiful.
will thicken up more.
Very nice.
So there we go, thickened custard.
And of course, there's just something more delicious and tasty about homemade custard as opposed to the box stuff,
you
right?
can't beat it.
Yeah.
And you can make it your own flavour as well.
I mean, see how easy it is. I don't know why people just don't make it.
It's
I mean,
as
why buy
easy
it?
as using the box stuff. You just got to have eggs in the house.
That's why we have our culinary hotline, because now we see how easy it actually is. All right, let's go over to our Facebook question from Audrey Lewis, who says, hello team, how can I make coconut ice without it being sticky or rubbery? And that's the treat.
Yeah.
That's
Here we have the coconut ice. The recipe is pretty simple. It's 1 tin of condensed milk.
Okay.
And then almost equal quantities of caster sugar, icing sugar and
dried coconut.
But what you need to, if it was too sticky, you'd need to add some more coconut to it. It should never be rubbery.
There's no good reason for it to be rubbery.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why, unless you've got a totally different recipe and maybe you've added flour or something weird like that.
Okay.
So
But
you
it
mix
shouldn't come
it
out
through
rubbery.
together. You put it down into a tray. What they've done here is they've taken half of it, added a little bit of colouring to it, and then so you've got the 2 colours. So just a little bit of red, and you can even do 3 colours or whatever you want. But it's so simple.
It's
super
so
simple.
simple. Okay, well, Audrey, I hope that's answered your question. That is how you make coconut ice in the way that it's supposed to be made. We will be here for a little while longer. Give us a call, 021 430 9881. And, of course, your culinary hotline, ting, ting, ting. We'll continue after the break. Well done.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, Zoe, why are you talking so dirty? Fricadelle and bacon and, oh, it's hectic. I love it, I love it. Well, we are back with a culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting in the house. Give us a call, 021 430 9118. Okay, so we've got our chefs in studio, and the very first question that I want to ask you, this is from Tsepo Rachakong, who says, how do I separate the egg yolk without making a mess or getting it wrong? I agree. I would like to know as well.
Okay, there's a couple of ways. One is to have fresh eggs. That's very important. So if they're too old, they're going to want to break quite easily. The other thing is to actually chill your egg first. So cold eggs separate more easily.
Okay.
So you want to make a nice clean crack. And then there's 2 ways to do it. You can either do it like this, where you just do it through the shell.
Ooh, okay.
So we just tip it over until you've separated them.
Okay, I try that and then it breaks.
Or you can break the egg.
Yeah.
Completely. Oh, just get my fingers in there. Make sure your hands are clean, very important. And then you just scoop out the yolk.
Ooh, gooey.
And then we go.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
That's
because
a
then
fun
it's
way to do it.
It's
Yeah.
perfect because the shell usually just cuts the yolk and then it
does,
just breaks
does.
all over the place.
And if you do happen to get a little bit of yolk in your white, the best way to get it out is using the shell. You just scoop it out with the shell.
Yeah, it almost works like a magnet.
It
It's
does.
actually
It
just-
sticks to the shell.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I'll just break all of the eggs in one bowl and then just take
Yes.
out the yolks individually.
Even if you've got a little bit of shell
Yeah.
in there, the same thing. Use the rest of the shell to
To get it
pull
out. And it's fun too.
Exactly. You don't want that crunchy consistency in the cake though, or the shell that was left behind. All right, we've also got a caller on the line, Raven from Soweto. Raven, are you there? Good morning.
Morning, how are you guys doing?
Very good, thank you, Raven. Raven, you've got a question for our chefs this morning, yeah?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go for
I'd
it.
like to know how to make the perfect omelette without having it becoming a scrambled egg.
Oh, that's a brilliant question, Raven. Thank you so much. So Raven wants to know how to make a perfect omelette without it turning into scrambled eggs.
Okay, firstly what I would do is you, like what Ange did, you didn't separate the eggs, but you put it all into a bowl. Give it a nice whisk, it just lightens up your omelette. And then what you do is you take a nice non-stick pan, even safer, a little bit of spray and cook. You throw your eggs into it, and you stir it about 3-4 times, and then you leave it. But the secret to an omelette is actually putting it onto a low heat.
Oh, really?
Because classically, an omelette needs to be clear in color. It mustn't have golden brown color. So you do it very gently, and it's actually so easy. Because
Yeah,
if
you
you just
should-
do it on a
yeah.
low heat, then you put when it's about 80% cooked, you put your filling in, then you flip over the one side, and then you just leave it like that for about, or you can pop it into the oven and just...
And just warm it.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. I always thought it needs to be a really, really hot
No,
pan.
that's where
it's,
most people go wrong.
It's a
Okay.
cool pan. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, Raven, I hope that we sorted you out. You're going to need to make us an omelette and then post a picture and show us how it came out.
I would like to see
that.
that, yeah.
Thanks, Raven. Breakfast on Raven, everybody. Well, our culinary hotline will continue in a little bit. 021 430 9881 is that number to call. This is your culinary hotline. Ting, ting, ting.
Ting, ting, ting.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary Hotline Bling. That can only mean
Welcome back
one
to
thing.
Expresso here on SABC3. It's your culinary hotline. Ting, ting, ting. I want to say bling, bling, bling. I don't know why. We're going to get this right. We've got one more. All right. So we are busy with your culinary hotline. Give us a call, 021 430 9881. And of course, we've got our very first caller on the line who's no longer on the line anymore. Louis from Pretoria wanted to know, it's winter. We want comfort food. Do you have a recipe for the perfect malva pudding that could even go with a custard that we just made?
Good idea.
Yes, I love malva.
I do have a recipe for the perfect malva pudding, but I can't remember it out of my head right at
Okay.
the minute.
But
But
the
it
gist of it
basically
is-
consists of not too much egg, so you whisk your egg and sugar. Got to have some apricot jam in there. Got to have some vinegar and some bicarb because that gives you that lovely, rich, dark color that you're after.
Yeah.
Not too much flour and lots of milk. So actually, the batter will be quite runny when you pour it into your bowl,
Yeah.
into your baking dish. And then you've got to pour that beautiful sauce over as it comes out of the oven.
yes.
Nice dark color, fully soaked
it
with
that beautiful
sauce.
stickiness?
Yes,
Yeah.
but we'll get a recipe up on the Expresso site as soon as we can for the perfect malva
Very,
pudding.
very cool. And that's, of course, a very South African thing, and it's got to have that
Very.
dark, rich color.
Yes.
You know, many years ago, I watched Oprah and her private chef, because when
Yes.
she was in South Africa for the first time, she had malva pudding,
Okay.
and her chef made this, like, light,
Light.
pale situation, and I was like, no, honey, you did something wrong. All right, so we
Yeah.
need, it must be rich
Dark
and
rich and very moist and soft.
Okay,
Yeah.
love, love,
Malva as in marshmallowy.
Marshmallowy, malva as in marshmallowy. Marshmallowy. Thank you so much, Louis, for that question. And then, of course, I would like to know, fudge. Sometimes you can't always eat it in the moment. Can you freeze it? Is it okay to do so?
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't
I
freeze
mean,
it.
sugar, like that kind of high content sugar from your condensed milk, you should never freeze. It's never going to freeze properly.
Okay.
If you should eat it all. Just eat it all.
Eat it all, guys.
It
Why
lasts-
are we saving?
It lasts about 2 weeks.
Okay.
So you could put it in a little Tupperware container, a zip like this,
Ziploc, yeah.
Even
Ziploc type
just a nice
things.
pretty
If
jar.
you did want to freeze it, wrap it in cling wrap,
Okay.
then into a Ziploc container, and then into the freezer, and probably a month, I'd say. But not. It's
But
not something that really.
It's the sort of thing you want to eat fresh. You don't really want to freeze it. Just make it and
Make it in
eat
smaller
it.
batches and actually
Yeah.
eat it. It's
Yeah.
so quick and easy as
Yeah,
well.
because you want that melt in your mouth consistency that comes
And I
from
think
it.
anyone must remember high sugar and high alcohol, you can't
You
freeze
can't
them.
freeze.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's important just to remember that.
All right, wonderful. And of course, your advice is just eat it.
Eat
just
it.
eat it. Eat it. Thank you so much, team. Okay, cool. So we're going to come back one more time with our culinary hotline, that number 021 430 9881. And of course, we will be here to take your calls on the culinary hotline. Ting, ting, ting. Yes. Well, it's time for the culinary hotline bling, ting, ting, ting. Of course, our expert's still in the house. We've got Sharon on the line, and Sharon is all about that gluten-free living. Good morning, Sharon. What is your question for the chefs this morning?
Good morning.
Morning.
I wanted to know what the ratio is changing almond flour or coconut flour to wheat flour in a recipe.
Okay, it's a difficult one because there is no formula for just swapping them out. So every recipe is different, depends on how much egg is in that recipe. Coconut flour, you need to use only about a third of coconut flour to wheat flour because it's very drying. And you've got to make sure that there's enough liquid in that recipe. Almond flour, I wouldn't do it weight for weight, I'd do it volume for volume. So if it's a cup of flour, then a cup of almond meal instead. Right. And you can use other varieties of gluten-free flours as well.
I think, and the most important thing, even just using normal flours, you've got to, your ratio of liquid to that always changes depending on the type of flour you're using. So just rather read up the exact amount.
And I do a lot of gluten-free recipes, so if you're interested, I'm available.
Hello, very, very cool. Sharon, I hope that we helped you out there. Go check out Angie Boyd, your Facebook page or something.
Chef Angie Boyd.
There we go.
.com.
Love, love, love. Talking about gluten-free, Louise on Facebook says, I want to know how to make a cauliflower pizza without eggs and cheese.
Sure.
What could I use to bind it? I don't know.
Giving yourself some hard work there.
Yes.
Super glue would work.
Super glue. Aye. There's got to be something tastier.
It's a tricky one because cauliflower already is gluten-free, so it's quite crumbly when you make a normal cauliflower pizza with the eggs and the cheese. It's already quite crumbly because there's nothing holding it together. So to make it without eggs and cheese, you're really going to struggle. I would... You can try it if you want to, but maybe a little xanthan gum, a little flaxseed ground up finely, because that is a slight binding agent, but it's still going to fall apart.
Okay.
Maybe just have cauliflower.
You could maybe
just eat the cauliflower.
A beautiful cauliflower soup.
But if you did want to do it, rather do it in little mini pits.
Tiny ones.
Otherwise, it's not going to hold.
It's really going to break apart.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. And then our final question, this lonely parsley over here. There is a reason for it being here because Jill, one of our callers, asked, I've got lots of parsley. How do I prevent it from going slimy?
Okay. Firstly, keep it in the soil as long as you can. Only pick it when you need it.
Okay.
The other thing, if you have got it, and try not to wash it until you need to use it. Because the minute something's been picked, it gets washed, it actually starts deteriorating.
Oh, I see.
Don't keep it in plastic. Plastic's very bad. It sweats and it makes it go off. So what I suggest, though, is if it's nearly going to turn, what you do is you take some butter, you soften it, and you chop your parsley into that or into olive oil, and you make some flavoured butters or flavoured olive oil. What we do is we roll the butter up into like a cylindrical. We pop it in the freezer, and then when you need it, all you do is you take slices and you put it on top of your fish, and you've got a beautiful parsley butter.
Wonderful stuff. I love that. I surely hope that our caller loved that and that advice as well as to what to use your parsley for if you've got lots and lots of it. Thank you so much, chefs. This has been wonderful. I feel so empowered to get into that kitchen and be amazing. This was your Culinary Hotline. We'll be back again next Wednesday, same time, same place. It's the Culinary Hotline.
Ting, ting, ting.